Hello everyone and welcome to What Game Next. Today is the TC Armory League for Flesh and Blood. Tonight I'm going to be playing Dorinthea Dual Axe, so something new for fun. My opponent looks like he's playing Chane. It looks like he's playing Chane. So we'll just kind of drop right into it. Oh, okay, there you go. Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. No, it's fine. I am Ryan, and you are Cody, correct? So you want to do high roll? Thank you. Okay, 11. I'll go first. Yeah, the playmat I got out of... I've only gotten one Rudy kit, and this is the playmat that came in it. Not the most recent one that he did, but the one before that. Okay. Yeah, I do like the Gambler Gloves one. It's nice. Gotcha. All right, so play... Oh, sure. So +2, and if it hits, it gains go again. And then I will attack with the Hatchet of Body. It's 2, +2 for the Warrior's Valor, and that's it. So it's a 4. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. And then I will arsenal a card and then draw. Okay, so that is for 6. Did you soul shackle before this? Okay. I will block for 3. You can see mine, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, nice. Nope. How do I take 3? I blocked for 6. Yeah, I blocked with both of this equipment and the Warrior's Valor. Oh, okay. All right. Let me Okay. So I am going to pitch a yellow Dauntless, and I am going to attack you with Nourishing Emptiness. It is a 6 attack. While there are no attack action cards in my graveyard, it has Dominate, and if it hits, I get +1 intellect until the end of turn. Yep. I pitched a yellow Dauntless. No floating, 1 card in hand, and 1 in arsenal. Can you block with the skull cap when you have equal life? Oh, okay, okay. So 1, 2, 3, and then 3. You got it. And then I will draw 3, and it's your go. All that equipment's getting all beat up. Okay. You got it. Okay. I'm going to pitch blue Steelblade Shunt. I'm going to play Spillblood. Axes I control gain +2 and Dominate until end of turn. Then I'm going to play Red Warrior's Valor. And then I'm going to attack with the Hatchet of Body. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, Dominate. And go again if it hits. I have 1 card in hand, 1 in arsenal. Okay, no attack reactions. Okay. All right, and then I will pitch Spillblood, attack with Hatchet of Mind. 2, 3, 4, 5, Dominate. Yeah, that's 5 Dominate. Yeah, no attack reaction. Okay. All right, and then I will draw. That was a okay turn. Yep. Okay. Okay. Yep. Okay. Yep. You got it. Yep. You got it. Okay. You got it? Yes. But how does it have go again? Oh, that's right. That's right. Here, let me think for a second. Hey, Ash. Thank you. Yes, I stream every Tuesday, Fab. Yeah, that's a lot of stuff. You know, no blocks. Okay, I will take 7, 6, 7, and 1 from Shadow Puppetry. Yes. You got it? Yeah, the game's great. I really enjoy it. You got it? You got it? Okay. Okay, I will block. Well, first thing that has to happen is the arcane, so I'll take that. Yep, and then in defense, I'll block for 3. Yep, and it's also for 3? 4. Okay. You got it. I will block for 3 and take 1. Okay. Yep. You got it. Okay. I will pitch Driving Blade, or no defense. No defense. Okay. So it's 3. Okay, no defense reactions. I'll take 3. I'm okay if you bust the Iron Wave. Yep. Does it have... It costs 0? Oh, wow. I thought it cost 1. Right. I will block for 1. Well, hold on. I can defend with cards. I just can't use defense reactions, right? Okay. I'll block for 4 then. Yeah. Yeah. I think you mean 26. You didn't count the 3 from the Unhallowed Rites, I think. Right. Yep. Okay. On my turn, I will pitch, attack you with Hatchet of Body. Two. All right. Oh. Yeah, give me 1 second. Last week, my opponent asked me to mute his sound. Can you say something? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, hold on. There we go. Try one more time.
Check 1 2.
Good to go. Okay. Yeah, somebody in my chat said, "Hey, by the way, I can't hear the person you're playing," and it's like, "Oh yeah, the person I played last week asked that I mute their mic on my stream, so I just forgot to unmute it."
Okay, I see.
All right, so you said no blocks?
Sure. All right. Yeah, no blocks. Any reactions?
No reactions. Take 2.
No defense reactions. I'll take 2.
Yeah.
All right, my turn.
It is your turn.
All right, Shackle trigger. Got a Command and Conquer and Exude Confidence. What?
Those are great hits.
Yeah, for somebody, not for me. Let's see how we're gonna do this now.
Thank you, Ash, for pointing that out.
Yeah, let's see here. So we are going to. Yeah, that'll work. We're gonna play Shadow Puppetry. Give the next attack action go again +1. If it hits, I can banish the top card.
You got it.
I'm going to.
Just so you know, you might want to tip your cards back just a little bit because I can almost see them.
Appreciate that.
No problem.
Try to scoot my mat forward a couple times now because I have a tendency of leaning forward a little too much. We are going to. That doesn't. Oh, okay, perfect. Come at you with an Light and Strike. We're going to move this to the bottom of our deck. We're going to choose the +2 option, so it's going to come at you for 8 with Go Again, and I can manage the top card of the hit.
Is Shadow Puppetry just the next attack action or the next Shadow attack action?
It is the next attack action card you play.
Okay. Man, that card is so good.
It sure is.
So 7 and Go Again.
8 with Go Again.
8 with Go Again, right. Declare no defense.
No reactions.
I'll pitch blue Hit and Run and play yellow Steel Blade Shunt.
Is that block for 7?
It blocks for 5.
5, okay. All right, so I have no further reactions on my side, so you'll
Okay,
take
so
3.
I will take 3, yes.
And I'll look at the top card and possibly banish if I want to banish it.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Gonna choose just to leave it
Okay.
on top. I'm gonna create a soul shackle. Go to 3 soul shackles.
Yep.
I'm going to swing Nebula Blade, pitching a blue Rip Through Reality. So I have 1 floating. So it's coming at you for 4 on hit, create a enchant.
Okay.
It has go again, but I have nothing to do. I have no cards in hand.
Right. For 4. No defense.
No reactions.
Okay, I will go to 19.
Taking the 4.
Mm-hmm.
19, create a rune chant. And that is my turn.
All right. Okay. So I'm going to pitch blue hit and run, play Warrior's Valor, yellow, and then attack with Hatchet of Body.
For 4?
For 4, yes. And if it hits, gain go again.
No defense.
No attack reactions.
No defense reactions.
Okay, so hit you for 4.
Take 4. Go to 22.
And then attack you with Hatchet of Mind for 3.
No defense.
No attack reactions.
No defense reactions. I'll take 3. Go to 19.
I mean, surprisingly, it's keeping up pretty well, like back and forth. The life totals are pretty even still.
Yeah, I made some misplays in the beginning for sure. Not creating a shackle was definitely one of them. Shackle will trigger. I'll trigger 3. Oh, yep. Guardian of the Shadow Realm. Guardian of the Shadow Realm. Oh, Command and Conquer. That could not have been worse, actually.
I mean, you have defense reactions.
That is super. Well, I have defense reactions that I can recall to my hand if I want to use my action point for that turn. Oh man, this is not what I was hoping to see. All right.
They did a very good job of making Chane feel like you've made a deal with some like chaotic demon where like you get all of this power, but sometimes it just is like just not enough, or it's way too much to handle all at once. And it's they did a very good job of making the character's play style feel like its story, which is really cool.
All right, so let's see what we're gonna do here. That's just not enough. Not enough. Well, let's see what happens here. We're going to play a Red Seeds of Agony from hand.
Okay.
We're going to play a Rip Through Reality yellow pitching. Oh boy. Pitching a blue Seeds of Agony.
Okay.
Got 1 floating. So you're going to be dealing with 1 rune chant, 1 arcane from Rip Through Reality, and 3 physical. And if the arcane hits, Rip Through Reality will go again.
Okay, that's the go again one. All right.
Yes. So two arcane from two different sources, one arcane from two different sources, and then 3 physical.
I will pitch a yellow biting blade to arcane barrier the 2, and then I will declare no defense on the 3.
Sure. I have no attack reactions.
No defense reactions.
All right. I will arsenal that card.
Okay.
You'll take 3, go to 16, and I will take 2 points of blood debt at the end of my turn.
You got it. Okay.
Oh, terrible.
What am I going to do here? I have a like a daring play, and I have a safe play. And I'm trying to figure out which is the best one to do here. I think I'm gonna go with the safe play right now. So I'm gonna play an energy potion, and end my turn and drop.
You got it. All right. Start my turn. Shackle trigger. Triggering 3. You got Bounty Demagon.
Okay.
Seeds of Agony, and a meet and greet, which doesn't have blood debt.
What color is the Demagon
So
and the seeds?
the Demagon's blue. Blue. It's a blue Demagon and a yellow seed.
Okay.
All right, here. This is certainly interesting.
I love the puzzle that Chane presents every turn.
Yep. Every time you got to put it together.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're definitely going to play a yellow Seeds of Agony from Banished Zone.
Okay.
And we are going to create a Soul Shackle.
Okay.
And we're going to come in with a blue Bounty Demagon. So you're coming for 1 and 2. 1 arcane, 2 physical with go again.
How many cards in hand?
4 cards in hand.
Oh, that's a lot of cards.
1 in arsenal.
I'm gonna pitch a yellow and arcane barrier the 1 arcane, and then I will declare no defense on the Demagon.
No react. Take 2, go to 14.
Yep.
All right. We are going to play... Ooh, that's interesting. That is definitely interesting. Do you have an attack reaction inside of your graveyard?
Isn't Bounty
Do you have an
Demagon...
attack action in your graveyard?
Hold on, isn't Bounty Demagon 1, not 2? You said it was a blue
It gets
one?
a +1 from the fact... Yep. Since I played it from Banished Zone, it says if you played a non-attack action card this turn, you may play it from your Banished Zone. If you do, it gets +1.
Gotcha. What was your question?
Do you have an attack action card in your graveyard? You should have a Nourishing Emptiness.
I have 1 Nourishing Emptiness, yes.
Perfect. That's what I was hoping for. I'm going to... First. Can I do it at all? That's the question. I don't think I can, but I'll try. I'm going to play an Invert Existence. I'm going to pitch a red Piercing Shadow Vice.
Okay.
Pay for it. So I'm going to banish an attack action and a non-attack action card in your graveyard.
Okay. Which non-attack would you like?
Let's just do the... Do you have a red Warrior's Valor?
I do.
Yep, let's do those 2. So it's coming at you for 2 arcane from the same source.
All right. I'll pitch a Blue Warrior's Valor and Arcane Barrier, both of those.
It's coming from the same source. You can only do one.
Oh, you're right. You're right. That's right. I can only do one. In that case, I won't do either. I'll just take the 2.
One floating, you know that, right?
I do.
Okay, all right, just making sure. Take the 2, go to a 12.
Yeah.
And with that, I'm going to play a meet and greet, pitching at Red Seeds of Agony. So it's coming at you for 4. On hit, it creates Rune Chant, and because I've dealt arcane damage to you this turn, it gains Go again.
How many cards do you have
I
left
have no
in hand?
cards in hand, no floating resource. Yeah, no cards in hand, no floating resources.
Okay.
1 in arsenal. And coming in for 4.
Yeah. No defense.
No reactions.
No reactions.
Take 4, go to 8.
Yep.
Out of arsenal, I'm going to play a yellow bounty demagon. It's coming at you for 2.
No defense.
No reactions. Take 2, go to 6. I'm going to take 2 at the end of my turn from Blood Debt and go to 15.
Okay. So we'll see if what I did was right. All right.
You know, I could have dug up one of the Guardian of the Shadow Realms by now, but I've chosen not to.
I know. All right. Blue Warrior's Valor. Plain Spill Blood. Attack with Hatchet of Body.
Coming in for...
It's coming in for
How much
4.
is coming in for 4?
4 would dominate.
4. And on hit, go again.
No on hit, go again.
Oh no, you pitched that. Sorry, you pitched that. Sorry.
Yep.
4 with dominate. Okay. Oh, this is gonna be interesting. Bolter. Does bolters read what? Read me bolters.
When a weapon you control hits, you may destroy refraction bolters. If you do, that attack gains Go again.
Okay, cool. Weapon. All right. Darn. That's not what I want to see. Yeah, let's block for 3.
Okay, so you take 1. And then I will...
Unless you have reactions.
When you take the damage is when I can trigger refraction bolters. So I have no attack reactions.
Right, I'm just... Yeah, okay, no, go to 14.
Okay. And I'll bust refraction bolters.
Got it.
I'll pay 1 and attack with Hatchet of Mind.
Is it coming for 5?
It's coming in for 5 dominate.
5 dominate. Yep. No defense.
Okay, no it. Well, hold on. I'm going to play Glint the Quicksilver. Gains Go again.
To get it Go again?
Yep.
Yep. And you... Okay. You don't draw the card because there's no reprise.
Right.
Yep. Gains Go again. And I take 4. 5, sorry. 5 go to
5.
9.
Yep. Okay, and then I'm going to pop the energy potion.
Mm-hmm.
Which closes... Or no, that's an instant. It doesn't close the combat chain. But I'm going to trigger Braveforge Bracers, which will.
Okay.
And then I'll use the last energy to attack with Hatchet of Body.
For 5?
5, yes, for 5. 6, because of the Brave Forge.
5, okay. 6 of the Rage Forge, okay.
Yeah.
6, and I'll be at 3. Ooh. No defense.
No attack reactions.
Taking 6, go to 3.
Man, this game is tight.
It sure is.
One,
Alright.
2, 3.
Start of my turn. Soul Shackle 1, Soul Shackle 2, 2 Vexing Malice so far, Bounty Demagon Red, and an Enlightened Strike. Holy crap, that was terrible. I got a Bounty Demagon Red that I can play out of Banish Zone. The rest of it is, well, just simply banished.
You got it.
Alright. Now we're not in such a good spot. I was hoping we'd be in a better spot, but we're not. We're not there. We're at 6. I need to do at least 6 damage. That's
at least 6
pretty.
damage would be good, since that would end the game.
Yeah, let's see here. That. Get some decisions. At least make some decisions at that point in time. So we're going to play a Blue Seeds of Agony from hand.
Okay.
We're going to create a Soul Shackle to get the next Rinblade or Shadow action go again. Play a Bounty Demagon from Banish Zone.
Okay.
It's red, so it's coming in for 1 Arcane, 4 Physical.
Okay.
With go again. 2 cards in hand.
I'm going to pitch a yellow cash in to block the Arcane.
You got it?
And then I will block with a yellow Dauntless for 3.
Okay, the block is good. I have no reactions on my side.
So
Any
I'll
further
take
defense
1.
reactions?
No defense reactions.
Nope. All right, 5.
Okay.
All right. Let's see here. 2, 5. That is 3. Man, it's just not there. It's not where I need it to be. That's awful. Oh boy. Well, we're gonna take a safer approach.
Okay. I mean that the safe road worked out for me with the playing the energy potion and passing, so.
Yep. Yep, we're gonna take the safe road. We're gonna pop Aether Ironweave to gain 2 resources. Because we played a non-attack action and attack action this turn, so we have 2 resources. Man, this pains me to do this. I'm going to return Guardian of the Shadow Realm as my action of the turn, using my 2 floating resources. And then we're going to end our move to end step, and we're going to arsenal a card.
Okay, and then you take 1 from Blood Debt.
And then I take 1 from Blood Debt, is correct.
All right. Okay. I'm going to pitch yellow cash in to attack with Hatchet of Body.
Ashes Body coming in for 2.
Coming in for 2.
Yep. I'm in that reaction phase that I don't like.
That's what Warrior thrives on, is that you don't like their action phase or reaction phase.
Let's see here. All right. Well, we're going to block 2. The Marvin Sky is yellow.
Okay. Attack reactions. I'm gonna pitch yellow Singing Steelblade. Play route.
Okay, so now you're getting +3, and that comes back to my hand.
Yes.
So you're at 5 total now.
I am at 5 total now.
Yep. Okay, so that's fine. We're gonna react with the Guardian of the Shadow Realm, pitching the card that I tried to defend with the first time.
Okay.
So a total block of 6.
You got it. That's good. And then I will pass and draw.
All right, I got 3 cards in hand, 5 shackles coming.
If I would have had a way of giving go again,
Puppetry.
that would have been really good.
I got Shadow Puppetry, Razor Reflex, which are both on Blood Debt. of War, which also doesn't have Blood Debt, Bounty Demigod yellow, and another Bounty Demigod yellow.
Okay.
So at least we can do some things, and we can not die from Blood Debt. That's pretty good, I think.
That is good if you can get everything out of your banish zone.
I think we can do this. Let's see how it all is going to play out. Well, can't give that second one go again, so that's gonna be interesting for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're gonna play. Ooh, this is gonna be tricky. Shadow of Ursa. We're gonna banish a Shadow of Ursa to give it go again.
Okay.
So that's two with go again.
2 with go again. No defense.
No reactions. 2, go to 3.
Go to 3. You have to be more enticing than that.
Mm-hmm. All right. Here's your enticing move. Create a Soul Shackle.
Mm-hmm.
Play Bounty Demigod. Coming in for 3.
Okay, I will block. I will block with Twinning Blade for 3.
Cards left in hand.
3 cards.
3.
This is the only thing I've played so far.
That's a problem for me. Problematic for sure.
Mm-hmm.
No way to generate resources, so that's. I think this game is effectively over, but we'll try. Coming in for 2, we're gonna banish an Invert Existence to give it go again.
Okay. What is the right? So that's for 2.
Coming in for 2 with go again.
I will block with Singing Steelblade for 3.
And then with my go again, I'll come at you for 3. No go again.
I will block for 3.
And I die to the Dark Lords.
Well, if you didn't, all I was going to be able to do really on my turn was Arsenal and pass. But yeah, that was a very close game. My last card in hand was Spoils of War, so I was hoping to be able to play Dauntless Spoils of War, attack next turn, but
yeah, for sure, definitely a close game, no doubt about it. I just think my earliest screw ups cost me late game.
So what I've found in playing Classic Constructed Chane, one thing for sure is I'm playing the maximum amount of cards that I'm allowed to play, and that helps
Okay.
And then the card that you really need that you're missing is spew shadows.
Oh, to give it go again and a plus effect.
No. Spew shadows is target a attack action card in your banish zone. You may play it from your banish zone this turn. If it attacks a light hero, it gains +2. So,
oh, that's right. To pull out the other stuff.
yeah, so the best thing that you can do with that is you can pitch, play Spew Shadows, play your Enlightened Strike from Banish.
Right.
Is the best thing that you can play, and then after that, like I play the blue and the yellow ones in mine, and they've come in clutch with being able to do things like the arcane vexing malice, being able to play that from
Vexing
Banish.
Malice. Yep.
Being able to play Enlightened Strike from Banish. The other card that's surprisingly good that I've been playing is Red Rifting, because you play Red Rifting, and it's 6 power, so which is good against Prism, and if it hits, then you can play one of your other non-attack actions like Seeds from your hand as an instant, because Seeds has go again, it gives you an action point.
Yep. Yeah, that is good. Yeah, so I've been looking at those, so I also have set collect, which is actually surprisingly come in handy when building decks, because when you set collect, you look at all the cards in the whole collection, and primarily those are those generic cards.
Right.
And there's cards that I know that exist, but I don't really know what they do because a lot of people just don't play them.
Yeah.
And Rifting is one of them.
Rifting, I think, is way better than people give it credit for.
Yeah, I saw that card and I was like, man, this card seems like it should have so much potential to be interactive with so many other cards in a non-instant setting that would just be crazy.
Yeah, just
Like
getting it effectively as a 6 for 2 with go again, which is just really good.
Right. Yes. Correct. But my thing is, so there's some mechanics in the game that I still don't have completely ironed out. Exude confidence is definitely one of those mechanics that I don't truly understand exactly where the card fits in, how it interacts with all the opponent cards that can be played, so on and so forth. If you rifted, so let's say you played rifting, you hit with rifting to play your next. Is it your next action card?
Your next
or your
non-attack
action?
Can be played as an instant.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay.
So you rifting into like Seeds, or
right.
you have some other ones I think in there too. But basically any of them that like Shadow Puppetry, yeah. So you play that as an instant.
Or Mauvrian Skies.
Yeah, Mauvrian Skies. All of those then give you your action point back in order to continue the chain, so you don't have to use your Soul Shackle in order to get a go again off that. And then they just have to deal with a 6 damage to the face, like right off the bat.
Yep, that is really good. And they think they're just going to deal with 6 damage and then potentially something else small, like a Dimensional Gateway or something like that, which would be relatively minor, but little do they know or little do they expect to have the chain continue with Seeds of Agony into 2 more attacks.
Right. And even in Dimensional, I think it's Dimensional Gateway, the aura is actually really, really good.
What, you mean Crossroads?
Dimensional Crossroads, yeah. Is really, really good.
Yeah. I keep on hearing that. And how do you not take damage to use it more than one turn?
Well, you don't.
Your hand?
Well, it only dies if you take damage on your turn.
Oh, on your turn. Okay, okay. All right. So I read it too quickly to understand the card then.
Yeah. It only leaves the battlefield if you take damage on your own turn, which means Blood Debt, or if somebody does something like existences you as an instant on your turn.
Kano's you.
Yeah, something like that. Like it's very bad against Kano, obviously, but
Right.
but against everyone else, it's been really, really good to me. And I've won most of my games with Chane and Classic Constructed off the back of Dimensional Crossroads. It's just that constant, like,
Yep.
2 arcane a turn that they have to deal with. And if they're pitching to deal with that, then they don't have the cards to block your attacks.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I tried to put it into a blitz deck, and whenever I did, it just didn't work. And so I kind of just wrote it off initially. And then I kept on hearing everyone that I talked to was like, "Oh, Dimensional Crossroads is so good." And I was like, "I don't know.
good.
I'm not really sure."
Well, if you want, after we're done here, I can
call.
message you and I can send you the link to my YouTube channel. And if you want to take a look at, I played with Chane, with Dimensional Crossroads, and all that last week and the week before. Yeah, it's been really good to me, the Dimensional Crossroads. But you have to play, like, you're not playing, or at least I didn't see. What is it called? The 1 cost. Play it from your banish. Gets Riftbind. You're not playing Riftbinds.
Oh, I am. You just didn't see them.
Okay. Are you playing all 9 Riftbinds?
Let's see. I'm definitely not playing all 9 Riftbinds.
You should be playing all 9 Riftbinds. All 9 seeds, all 9 Riftbinds.
2, 3. Oh, I think I played 5, 4, 5. Yeah, I played 5.
Because if you, like, let's say you seeds Shadow Puppetry into Riftbind, you're looking like, even on the blue one, you're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage
3.
attack with Go Again.
On the blue one?
1, 2, 3, 4 damage attack. Because you get 1 for Shadow Puppetry, and plus 1 for the seeds. So it's effectively like a 5 damage attack with Go Again.
Right.
And then you go again into another Riftbind, and you get all those, you get the bonuses again from the first 2 non-attacks you played.
Right.
You chain them. And if you can do something like play, seeds, and then like something like Spew Shadows into something else from your banish into Riftbind, it's like, I've hit with Riftbind for like 9 before. But I'm also running, in my Chane build, I'm running Minnowism and Nimbleism.
Yeah, see, I think, yeah. So I've wanted to mess around with that too. I just haven't had enough time to put together enough different... Classic Constructed is such a different animal when it comes to the deck building process and also the deck testing process.
Right. It's amazing how different the format is when it's the only difference effectively is like 1 of 2 of and half health. Like card valuations, how good a card is changes so drastically from one to the other. In a lot of cases, I find that really fascinating about this game.
Yeah, I do. I'm right there with you. I am 100% right there with you. I think that, but also, so for somebody that's playing trying to play super competitively, well, I guess I should classify myself into that category. It becomes about the time with Classic Constructed.
Yep.
When you have when one game takes 50 minutes or 50 minutes to an hour, it's tough to test decks. To test 4 different builds on a deck.
Yep.
It takes not just one go through, it takes 10, 15 go throughs on one deck build for you to really get a feel for what am I trying to accomplish here against multiple different heroes.
Right. And yes, because you have to play against, playing against, Dorinthea is vastly different than playing against, Rhinar. But even, and going forward, as they release new heroes in the classes, that complexity issue with figuring out good deck lists is going to get deeper and deeper, which I actually think is a good thing, because other games, the formats get solved way too quickly.
Right.
In a lot of other card games. And I feel like if they get to the point where there's like twice as many heroes as there are right now, and there's at least one extra hero in every class, there's always two choices. There's never going to be a best deck unless they really screw up on some cards. If they do that, then possibly.
No,
but otherwise, it's going to be a good meta all the time.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I've thought about how just challenging that's going to be when new heroes get added every single time.
Mm-hmm.
How much more complex the whole game is going to be, and how much more variance there's going to be when you show up to a tournament. If you show up to a local tournament where you know the meta in the local tournament, it's not going to be that difficult. But when you show up to like I don't know, I forget the hierarchy of their tournament structure, but if you show up to a calling event, that meta is going to look like vastly different when there's even just on Kingdom's release with 4 new heroes. There's going to the meta is going to be like, you're not going to have a clue what people are playing.
And if they follow the same pattern, there'll be like 1 new class and 3 heroes in existing classes. Probably Ranger, Guardian, and maybe Mechanologist. I don't know what the third one would be, but I'm pretty sure on Ranger and Guardian. Those seem prime for having additional heroes put into them in the new set.
Correct. Yeah. People are waiting on. People have been speculating that James White's announcement about his favorite hero is going to be Necromancer.
Yeah, I'm actually waiting for Alchemist. I want to throw potions at people's heads. That's what all I want to do in this card game.
Yeah, it's a fair desire. I should say. Also, there's like a bunch of people waiting on bards and clerics.
Cleric, I think will be really interesting.
Druids.
I think Bolton's given us a very interesting look into how clerics could function, because of how different he is than Dorinthea, because of the light aspect cards.
Right.
And I feel like it'll be really interesting when Kingdoms releases, because we'll have another talent. Because I'm pretty positive that they will not revisit Light and Shadow right away. Mainly because Kingdoms, to me, says Volcor, because it's the real king, the one true kingdom in Wraith right now. And he said in the article where he announced talents that every region has its own unique talent and they don't share them.
That's true. That's a good pickup. I do remember that, but I would not have picked up. I would not put that together without somebody saying that. That's really nice. Yeah, it's a good call out. And so you're probably right. They probably will wait till another set release before they bring out more Shadow/Light heroes.
Yeah, my guess is that it's what they're going to end up doing is like Kingdoms will have a new talent and 4 new heroes. And then if they continue the supplemental set thing like Crucible, then Crucible will have more light stuff and stuff for whatever the new talent is. But I actually think the way that they're seeding it is they're trying to keep the pools small enough that like what we see with Light Warrior is pretty much what we're going to get with Light Warrior for a long time. Because they don't want to dilute the non-talented heroes too much. They want to keep them. They want to keep them, functionally on par with the talented heroes. And if they give the talented heroes too many cards, they already have a lot of really powerful effects. If you give them too much, they're just going to overshadow the non-talent heroes. And I don't know if you watched there was a win a case from Dice Jar on YouTube. They streamed it. Guardian actually won that event.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he played, it was Prism and Guardian in the finals, and he beat the Prism, but 3 rounds earlier he played against the Prism on stream, and the Prism demolished him. So he I guess he just thought about the matchup and stuff, and then when he faced the Prism in the finals, he was able to pull it out.
I guess it's because I've tried putting together a Blitz Prism deck myself. It was a terrible. I had a terrible attempt just basically because I threw a bunch of Majestics in there and some Heralds, and I was like, oh, this should be good. And I played a Bravo, so I get what I was doing to myself. However, I played him 3 times in a row, and it was so far from being close.
Yep.
I think I got total across the 3 games, I think I dealt 12 damage, and I was just like, what in the world's going on? How is this even possible? But everyone keeps on saying hey, Prism's really, really strong in Classic Constructed.
Yes.
Is it just a bunch of aura Prism builds?
Well, here's the thing: is that you basically have 2 lines for Prism builds. You have the Herald build, which is just trying to hit with big Heralds with Go Again and do 2 a turn, and just overwhelm the opponent. And then the other one is play a bunch of auras, build a bunch of shields, and then Luminaris attack for 1, 8 times in a turn. For one.
Right.
So the blocks are terrible. The blocks are terrible when you're attacking for 1 8 times.
Right. Yeah. Is that what is emerging as the formidable Prism build?
That's the one that I played against last week, I think, in the TC League. Was Prism with a bunch of auras, and how I overcame that is I went over the top of her defense and in order to smash all the shields, because she had 6 shields built up, and so I did what was it, Nimblism into Spew Shadows, Enlighten Strike from Banish +2, so it was 10 damage Enlighten Strike, and then with Go Again with Chane, and then after that, then I think I followed it up with a Riftbind or something with Minnowism for another 7 or 8.
How did you get Go Again from Chane?
I used Chane's ability to give the Enlighten Strike Go Again. The Soul Shackle.
It can't give Enlighten Strike.
Oh no, you're right. I did Riftbind first and then into Enlighten Strike.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it was the other way around. But it was 7 and then
cool.
10 damage in 1 turn.
Yep, 7 and 10 in that order is difficult to foresee and deal with.
Yeah, and just
No
even if they
you
block with their whole hand, I'm going to take out their shields, which was my whole purpose. I think I did 2 damage to Prism that turn, or 4 damage or something ridiculous, but I took out all the shields.
Right. Yeah. I don't. With Chane specifically, I think he is the best hero in my personal opinion.
Mm-hmm. I love him. I think he's great.
I haven't cracked the code by any stretch of the imagination, but there's been some really interesting build ideas with existing Runeblade cards, such as building a rune chant chain build, where your idea is to actually generate and create rune chants and throw those rune chants at that person every single turn.
Yep.
And use cards like meet and greets to get Go Again, Rip Through Realities to get Go Again, but also the combination of using Runeblood Barrier into so you play Runeblood Barrier. You create a shackle, play Runeblood Barrier, then attack with a Rip Through Reality, so that they know the 4 arcanes coming, but they just can't do anything about it.
Right.
And so the Rip Through Reality gets Go Again, or the meet and greet gets Go Again, or
read the runes. You can do read the runes with Go Again too.
Right, read the runes, Go Again, all that kind of stuff. Just it gets kind of crazy and kind of chaotic, but that is a that is a particular build of Chane that you could go after that could make sense to where you're actually coming in with relatively large-sized chunks of rune chance.
Yeah, I think that's definitely definitely a way that you can go. I tried doing that, I think, in the first couple builds that I did with like meet and greets and stuff, and tried to focus on the arcane. And then I played against people that just like always arcane barriered my arcane and turned off like a lot of my effects, and it felt really, really bad. But I think if you leaned more into it, like you're saying, create more rune chance and lean more into it, then maybe yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. Do you think that Carrion Husk is a better chess piece than Ironweave?
I really like Ironweave. I run Ironweave on mine. The ability to just randomly generate 2 resources is so good, especially if you're running the Rift Binds, because a lot of times you need like 2, you need to play 1 and play 1 or something,
right,
to clear your blood debt and everything, and that 2 resources is huge. And a lot of his cards cost 2 as well. So like I've played like that into like Seeds into Bounding, and then popped that to play Spew Shadows, to play something out of to play another one out of my Banished Zone, like Enlightened Strike or whatever. And just having the option of getting 2 resources at once. I was actually looking for something like that for this Axe Dorinthea to generate 2 resources, and the closest thing there is the Blood Drop to generate 1.
Right. Yeah, the Axe Dorinthea, I've never seen the build myself.
Mm-hmm.
Have you tried to put together a Bolton Saber build?
I haven't, although I do hear that is quite popular. Before this last month where I played Chane, I was playing Dorinthea with dual sabers. Is what I was playing on during TC League, and that was a lot of fun too. The axes are really good though, because you can give them Dominate.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can Iron Song the
you can
the sabers, and also I think would Iron Song work on your axes as well, right?
It does. I have it in here. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That Spill Blood and Iron Song, just giving Dominate for the turn is just it's so difficult to deal with.
And it's 1 resource to give both axes +2 and Dominate for the turn. So then you just have to worry about Go Again. And if you can pop the Go Again, which isn't really all that hard, that's what you save your equipment for, is popping it on the Spill Blood turns.
Right.
And then you just go to town.
Well, that's why
4, 5, and 7 damage or whatever is really hard to deal with Dominate.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's why the Bolton Saber build has so many advantages, because you can just pop a card from a soul to give it a Go Again as long as it was buffed.
Yeah, and I started looking at that, and then I was like, I thought about putting like Dustpath Pilgrimage and stuff in here, but I was looking at it, and it's like, Dorinthia's ability already gives your first hit can use the weapon a second time. So as long as you just focus on getting the Go Again, really 3 attacks is more than enough in a turn. Especially since you have to pay for them, you can't Courage of Blade hold the axes. So, doing one and then doing the other and then doing the first one again, I think is fine. I don't think you need more than 3 attacks. So focusing more on just giving it Go Again, which is what most of the cards in my deck do.
Yeah, all the Valors
and the what is the other one? It's Hit and Run. I have 9 Hit and Runs in my deck.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So yeah, it's interesting. I just love that there's so many different ways that you can build each hero, even with only 4 sets effectively released. There's so many different ways, and they're all valid, and they're all, good enough to play.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, what here's what something that kind of blew me away was that I was trying to build and put together a relatively aggressive Chane build, and who who did it? I think it was Levia or Levia, however you pronounce her name. Somebody played, I believe they played. I think it was the very first webcam game. So I don't know how many times they played before this, but it was their very first time playing webcam. They literally opened the pre-con deck and they played my Chane. Don't get me wrong, I'm like not some world-class player by any means, but I'd been working on the deck for quite some time.
Right.
I had lots of Majestics in there. I had lots of time into it, lots of play testing, and granted, I was giving him like some take backs and I was giving him some coaching, like, hey, that wouldn't be the best play. All that's true. However, the game went down to 1-to-1 life, and I was just like, this is kind of nuts that the pre-con deck competes and is very competitive with a deck that I've been working on for, I don't know, a week.
Yeah, when the Monarch first dropped, Channel Fireball did a thing where everybody entered this tournament and they had to use a Blitz deck from the 4 that were released with no modifications. So that was the tournament. And you just played, I think it was 5 rounds or whatever, and I streamed that too. And after one of the games that I played, or was that or during a TC? After one of the games I played somebody with a tuned Rhinar Blitz deck versus the Chane pre-constructed Blitz deck, because it was the only... I just wanted to play the deck again. And it was close. Like, he beat me, and he should have beat me, because his deck was pretty ridiculous, but I got him down to like 2 or 3 life.
Yeah.
The precons are good.
I just think that just speaks like incredible volumes to the thought that has gone into this game. That a pre-constructed deck, one that you can go buy for $15 off the shelf pretty much anywhere, can literally hold up and be competitive and be in the game for most any other deck it comes into face with.
I think the reason for that is that if you really look at the higher rarity cards, like Spill Blood, for instance, Spill Blood is really good, and it's a really good card, but what it gives you is it gives you options. It makes the axes viable to play, whereas you could still play Dorinthea with Dawnblade or something else. You don't need Spill Blood to play Dorinthea. It just gives you another way to play Dorinthea.
Sure.
And I think a lot of the higher rarity cards, that's what they do. They're not necessarily like tiers better than the common and rare cards. They just give you more options on how to play and how to navigate turns, which, with as high as the skill cap is in the game, can lend itself to really skilled people being able to do a lot more with it because they have more options, and more options always gives you a better chance if you know what you're doing. But you can still build a really focused deck with like commons and rares and stuff and still pull out close games.
Yep, you're 100% right about that. I think you're right. 100% all the way through, is that the higher rarity cards, the Majestic, super rares, obviously the older ones, when you really get down to it, it's those cards just give the very high level competitive players, when they're playing those really high intense levels of competitive games, there's just ever so slight edges in certain circumstances, and knowing when to deploy that perfectly can be able to pull out the games in those situations.
Yep.
I think that a highly skilled player playing a highly tuned and versatile deck will probably always beat a common rare deck.
Yeah.
But I think that they'll always beat it by just a slow margin. It'll be like by 5 lesser health game.
Right, but if you switch it up and you give a really high skilled player the common rare deck and you give a fairly new player the highly tuned deck, they're going to make a lot more play mistakes because of all the options that are presented in the deck. And a lot of times the skilled player will still pull out there because they
Right.
know what they're doing and they know how to navigate the game itself.
Correct. Yep. Again, I agree with you.
Yeah, that's one of the things that really drew me to this game, and the way you can tell how much thought they put into everything, to the way the cards function and everything. Like, you can open a pack of a new set and look at the cards, and you can see the numbers between the cost and the pitch and the attack and the defense and everything. And you can look at it and you can just say, yep, that makes perfect sense. It's a 2, it attacks for 6, like defends for 3, or, and then if the ability is good, then it either subtracts from the defense or the attack, or something like that, or makes it cost 1 more. So then you have like the shadow one that's 3 for 6 with dominate. The numbers just always make sense in the cards. There's never a card that I look at and I go, that doesn't make any sense. Why is this so cheap to do that?
Right. Yeah. There's correct. There's a couple of them that I think that, like, wow, that's a little too good sometimes. In some situations,
yeah.
like, that card is just a little too good. I think in certain circumstances, like Iron Song Determination, when it gets paired with other cards, I'm like, that's just freaking ridiculous. Like, I can't put up with this. Obviously, I don't play Dorinthea, but I play against her quite frequently.
Right.
And but the other ones is the way that I describe knowing how well they've balanced the game is every single time I feel like I have a good hand. I always do the calculations on the certain routes that I can take, and it's always like, man, if I just had one more resource, it could all flow. And to me, that tells me that, like, man, it can work sometimes, but it doesn't work all the time to do the perfect turns, which means that they had to think about and plan that. And then also, it's like,
right,
you said the defense values and the pitch values and how much it costs. A lot of times, the cards that you want to play actually have a higher defense value, which means that you're having to sacrifice that card to defend with it as opposed to play it.
Yep. And the way that they've done that to make it so that they're forcing you to make decisions, which is what they should be doing. Like, there should never be really a time when it's like, I always play these cards in this way. It should never be like that. It should always be, I'd like to play the cards in this way, but my opponent is attacking me for 6 right now, and do I want to take that and let my turn flow the way that I'm planning, or do I want to stop some of that damage and give up a little bit of my turn in order to do that? Like, those decisions, I think, are critical to the game and how it works. And they should be. I think that's a great part of the game.
Yep, I agree with that. The closest, at least my experience has been so far, the closest thing that I've been to having almost decisions made for me is playing an Ira deck.
Yeah. What cards do I have in my hand? Can I attack with them? Here we go.
Yep, it's like basically like, oh, I have a blue pitch card. Okay, save that card. Oh, I have one attack card that I can play with that blue pitch card and attack with a Kodachi. Great, I can defend with these 2 other cards in my hand if I want to. Otherwise, I can possibly fit them with this.
Right. Yeah, and that makes sense. Like, from the standpoint of, like, ninja itself, you expect ninjas to be, like, poking a lot for a little, like, over a period of time, and just have this consistent. You think about martial arts, it's disciplined and consistent and stuff like that, and the things that you would expect a ninja to play like is basically how it plays. Like, which is great. Like, the flavor, like I was saying with Chane, it really feels like you made this bargain with some chaotic demon that sometimes is just going to screw you, because that's what demons do.
Yeah, man, we were having some discussions about that next level, that next layer deep on how they've put the game together and how they've connected. Like, they've done such, in just, my opinion, but lots of people's opinions as well, they've done such an incredible job at completing the circle in so many aspects of the game.
Yep.
Connecting the artwork to the style that the card, to the text of the card, to how it fits into the class of the hero, to how it fits into the talent if there's now talents.
Right. The frame and how it looks.
It's so incredible that it blows me away sometimes just from thinking about it.
Yeah, and one thing that I really enjoyed when I was looking at Monarch when it came out is if you take one of the talents, right? So you take the light talents. If you look at the cards, the light cards that Bolton gets, and the light cards that Illusionist gets, and then the light generic cards, you can see how light is supposed to function from the light cards, and then how the class makes that mechanic its own thing within that. And the same thing with Chane and Levia, how they both banish cards. They both banish cards with blood debt, but the way that they interact with that blood debt is very, very different. Which is really just mind-blowing how much thought went into that.
Yeah, you're right. How they both use the same talent in two distinct ways.
Mm-hmm. So, shadow means at some point cards are going to go into banish. That's what shadow does, is it puts cards in banish. And then how that interacts with things. And like how, maybe at some point we'll see a shadow ranger who wants to banish arrows, like demonic arrows, that is then going to fire those arrows from banish or something like that.
Right. Yeah. I could totally see that. There's some games that come out that are brand new games that you see them pigeonhole themselves into a design space that's like hard to design within or hard to design out of.
Yes.
And the way that LSS has built out their design arena, it's almost infinite.
Yep. Yeah, I can just imagine lots and lots of different classes that all work very differently when the core of the game is pitch a card, play a card, opponent defends or reacts to that card, something happens, reduce life, go further. Like the core of the game is actually really, really simple, but how each class makes those mechanics their own, how they interact with each other, both within the class and then against other classes and everything, they could do basically anything they want.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's great. I think the game's great. I think Wizards should actually be worried about this game, unlike a lot of other games that I've liked in the past.
A big, or did you come from a big Magic player background?
I started playing Magic back in like 96, 97, around like Fallen Empire's time and stuff like that. So I've been playing Magic for a while. I go in these things where like I'll play Magic pretty heavily for a couple years and then I'll just not touch it for years and then I'll go back. In the last like 5 years, the only Magic that I've ever played is there's a Discord that I'm a part of that what they do is they do basically Commander sealed deck leagues. So everybody opens a booster box and builds a Commander deck out of it, and then we do rounds of Commander with sealed Commander decks.
Okay.
And then every week we add 6 packs to our pool and adjust our decks and do that.
Oh, that's pretty cool. That's a really neat kind of way of running a tournament or running a. Never thought about that. So I started my Magic days back in technically '99 was when I was pretty much introduced to the game. But I got into it more heavily and played until about 2004, and then I pretty much just hung the game up since 2004. And I discovered Flesh and Blood this year. Basically, January of this year is when I discovered Flesh and Blood.
Oh, okay.
And I think I've played more. Actually, you know what? I've probably played close to the same number of games of Flesh and Blood. I've definitely bought more product of Flesh and Blood.
Yeah.
Than I ever did in the 3 months that I've been in part of Flesh and Blood than I ever did in my entire history of Magic, and I've probably played just about the same amount of games.
I've bought more at one shot of Flesh and Blood than I ever did of Magic. I've only bought like 1 or 2 cases of a set of Magic, but like I bought 4 cases of Monarch.
Yeah.
And then not counting, I have a case of a limited coming too. Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, I started back in June. So I bought 9 boxes of Crucible when it was buyable. Or actually, I bought 11 boxes. I opened 9. I have 2 sitting up on my shelf over there. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Back in June when I first, well, actually I first heard about the game, it was earlier than June, but I bought my first boxes around May, June last year from TC, and I opened up those first couple boxes that I bought, and I was just like, man, this is awesome. Like the cards, they look so good, and like everything about it, and just opening the packs feels good, and yeah, I was pretty much hooked at that point, and I opened like 5 I think boxes of WTR, and I think I opened 4 or 5 boxes of Arc, and I have 2 more boxes of Arc up there. But yeah, first in Alpha, yeah. But I was pretty much hooked as soon as I got my boxes and I opened them. Yeah, just felt good.
I don't know how to describe that to other TCG players and game people, but like that is the exact same experience I had when I opened my first Flesh and Blood. Was it just felt good.
Yep, and I've opened a lot of boxes. Like I've even opened a lot of boxes of Magic last year in order to do the Commander League and stuff. And it was more just like a process of sorting and filtering after opening the box. Like there wasn't anything where I was just like, oh my god, this is awesome. Like even opening like special treatments of cards, there were a couple cards that I thought were cool looking, but it was nowhere near the experience of opening Flesh and Blood boxes and just marveling at, you know, what you see.
Yeah.
And I felt the same with Monarch too.
Yeah. I'm just going to pull out a couple examples and what I think illustrate that like extremely well. I don't have that many great examples in my deck currently. There's some much better examples in other situations, but that's a pretty good one. That's a really good one. So obviously I just pulled out four commons and 1 rare.
Right.
Like the rare, obviously there's technically 3 more levels of rarity up above that.
Yeah.
But I mean, Soul Reaping, like that is an amazing piece of art, just by itself, and it's rare. Like the second highest or second lowest rarity besides token, of course.
Yeah.
Riftbind.
Yeah, Riftbind's awesome.
Like look
and
at
Riftbind in foil is so good looking.
Yeah. Piercing Shadow Vice, another freaking
Mm-hmm.
common. Like, just a crazy looking card. Seeds of Agony is like one of the best. I think one of the best Runeblade Shadow arts
Yes.
of the set, personally.
Yeah, art
And
wise.
Rip the Reality is not great, but still, it's a freaking common. They spent a bunch of time on that art.
Well, if
Nourishing
when
Emptiness, like
when
that.
you yeah, I was just gonna say nourishing emptiness. Like if you really want to talk about the time and effort put into some art, nourishing
Yeah,
emptiness. If you actually look at the art and you blow it up, every one of the panels is showing the
yes, I know,
death of one of the generic heroes. And
Yeah,
then when you tie it together with the flavor text of every story has a beginning, I wonder what shall yours be. Or sorry, every story has an ending. I wonder what shall yours be. And you look at the art and how it ties together and all of that stuff. Like somebody spent a lot of time working with the artist to generate that kind of specificness of the art and how it should look and what it should depict.
yes. So going further into that card, though, so nourishing
Yes.
emptiness, nourishing, like feeding on emptiness,
Yes.
and the fact that your graveyard has to be devoid of any attack action cards, which is what you're killing the person with, which is
Right.
what the card is itself, and you gain intelligence from that. Like you feed off of someone else dying.
Well, and it's not even just that you feed off someone else dying, that you achieve some level of enlightenment from having nothing.
Cool. Yeah, I couldn't get there. I couldn't say the right word.
Yeah.
That absolutely like that, and like it is that was what that went into one
Yeah, one card.
card.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all one
Like
card. Yeah.
that's the kind of stuff that just like, and the set is 305 cards.
Yep.
Like
And
someone
Monarch
like
is close to 400 cards. It's crazy.
no, Monarch's 305.
Is it 305? I thought it was 380.
No, 305.
Huh.
But it's insane that it just
That they spent that much time on one card. Yeah, I 100%. I'm with you there. That's crazy.
but they had and I don't know. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that blows me away, and then just kind of takes. They had 304 more cards to do that kind of stuff with, and they took the time to do it. They took the time to connect the lore. They took the time to connect the gameplay, test play it, just every
And
single element had
and
to
one thing
be
that I really wonder is
top notch.
they've said they have 7 years of sets planned out already, like basically already done at this point. I wonder how far they are into the world building and the lore part of it and the art part of it for those sets going forward. Kingdoms has to already be completely done in the bag, art and everything at this point, because they've got to start printing it soon.
Right.
So it makes you wonder, like, how far out have they already built this world that we just don't even know? If you look at some of the assets that they have on the website, they have like the map of Wraith, and there's a lot of interesting like things on the map that don't have any text associated with them. That just makes you wonder, like, what is that? Like in the northeast, above the pits and the mechanologist place, in the ocean, there's like a giant vortex with a hole in the ocean, and the water's just spilling into the hole. But it's not labeled or anything. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. I don't have any speculation on any of that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. I'm not as deep into the lore as a lot of people are. One reason is obviously it's convenience or lack thereof convenience.
Yeah.
That I haven't got a chance to actually put my hands on a lore book. I have the lore PDF downloaded.
Yeah, I
but
have the
just
PDF
scrolling
too.
through a PDF is not. Yeah, it's not the same as looking at a book, and I haven't found somebody willing to sell the book at a reasonable price, even an open one, like
Yeah.
below $500. And it's just like, I don't know. That's another freaking case of, it's almost two cases of unlimited products. So I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, you can get so much of the lore of the world just by looking at the cards of the set. Like you learn so much about
Right.
Solana from Monarch and looking at the light cards and stuff like that, and it's really interesting. And then reading the flavor text on a lot of the cards, like you have stuff being said by people, like they're attributed quotes, and it's like we don't know who these people are yet or what effect or of any they may have in the future, which I think is really interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's so much. Oh, so to comment on a point that you made about them having built out the next 7 or so years of sets or whatever the case may be. I haven't heard that comment specifically, but my thing was, if I do know that they had 7 years of development
Yes.
behind the game before they released the game.
Yep.
My thing is that if it took 7 years to get to wherever we are approximately at release back in 2018 or 2019, whenever they released it, can they keep up with that pace as time moves forward? Like, is it going to take them that long each time, or will they be able to grow at the pace that they're growing at to keep up with that level of in-depth gameplay and development?
I'm not sure. It's a good question, but I do know that when they designed the game itself, Monarch was the first set, and they took
Right.
aspects of the game and pared it back to make Welcome to Wraith and Arcane Rising, to introduce people to the game in a way that would organically grow a user base that would then be able to help teach people as things got more complex, which I think was a really great way to go. Instead of dumping everybody straight into the pool with Monarch.
Right. No, there's some obvious signs, and as everyone's well aware that's following Flesh and Blood or LSS closely, that these James and his team of people, they know what they're doing. And it is abundantly obvious that they have made some challenging choices and decisions, but almost every time they've been the right ones to make.
Yeah, and between that and I trust the decisions that they've made already, and also just based on the fact that the company itself is wholly owned. Like there's no other outside force acting on them in order to change how art may be, or sets may be, or mechanics may be, or something like that to make it more marketable or something like that. I think it makes me more invested in the company, knowing that they own their IP, they own the game, they own everything about it, and they're not beholden to anyone. Which is how a lot of the games that I've liked in the past have vanished, is because somebody else owns the IP, or somebody else owns the game system, or another company owns the company that's making it, and so they make business decisions that affect the game and stuff like that. And I'm glad that none of that is here.
I think this is my belief and my speculative opinion. I believe James understands how powerful that is, and that's why LSS is in the position that they're in currently, which is that exact scenario. They have a group of, I don't know, 10 to 20 family and friend investors, and that's it. There's no VC firm, there's no private equity firm, there's no big bank supporting them, there's no big company that this. There is them and that group of people, and the company that is LSS and people that run it, and that, I can't tell you how much confidence, just like you described, has instilled in me in the game, and to make my decision to purchase more of their product almost a non-decision.
Yeah, the biggest problem with the company being what it is, because it's small, is what we're seeing right now is just the growing pains of the game is so good and it's attracting so many new people that, like, as fast as unlimited boxes appear in the market, they almost vanish, like within a very, very short amount of time. And that makes it hard from a growing aspect. They need to get to a point where they can produce enough to keep stock on the shelves all the time, even if it gets low and they have to, bring in big waves and stuff. But that's the biggest problem, I think, with the game right now is just accessibility.
Yep. And um, yeah, well said. I think that the player pool, the ever expanding player pool, will choose to deal with that for only so long before it becomes a significant problem.
Yeah, I think the game wouldn't have gotten anywhere near as far as it has if it wouldn't have been for the fact that the player base is so invested and excited into the game that they do things like gather up their commons and rares and create blitz decks and drop them off at their game stores to be given out to new players to attract people. It's things like that that have been helping overcome that issue with supply. And I think without the game being as good as it is and people being as invested as they are, that easily could have killed the game up to this point without that kind of, grassroots support or whatever.
Yeah. I haven't done the legwork of putting the decks together. However, people that have told me like, hey, I'm putting decks together to give or sell to somebody else who is giving them away or spreading them out. They said, hey, that person was buying bulk commons and things of that nature. I said, Dad, you don't need to buy my stuff. I have a full play set of everything I need. Just tell me where to send it and pay for shipping, and I'm good.
Yeah, I've
been
gathered up commons and stuff like that, and I've sent them, like, put them into blitz decks and sent them over to some friends. Just be like, here, try the game. Like, here's some cards.
Right. Yeah. You're absolutely right. Well, good playing again.
Yep, you too.
Good game, good match. Trying to win.
And
I wish you luck on your axe throughout your build.
Well, thank you, and we'll talk to you again later. And thanks for the game.
Sure thing. Take care. Bye.
You too. So there was a lot of talking there at the end. I will cut some of that out, and I'll shorten some of that, and also put some bookmarks in the description of the video so that people can jump to the important parts. But that was the league for this week. I played Dual Axe Dorinthea against Chane. It was a really close match. It was a lot of fun. I'm sorry that I had my opponent muted for the first part of that. I hadn't thought about it, but I muted my opponent for last week because they asked me to, and I just forgot to unmute it. So anyway, it was a really good game, and I enjoyed it, and I look forward to playing again with Dorinthea next week. If you like this kind of content, I stream Flesh and Blood every Tuesday. Going forward, it's technically the first 4 Tuesdays of every month. I believe June has 5 Tuesdays, so there'll be 1 week without it. But I may do something else Flesh and Blood related on that day. Tomorrow I will be streaming Ashes through the Team Covenant League, so that will be a lot of fun as well. And I'm looking forward to it. So thank you, everybody, and see you next time.